Hey there, I'm Micro and I like to do silly challenge runs. It's just for fun and to vibe with people. I hope you enjoy. I've been playing far too much Skyrim lately and needed to blow off some steam. Well, more like blow up some geckos. I've been wanting to beat the game with the single shotgun for years now. It's not a good weapon, not even in the beginning. Its DPS is so low you'd be better off literally punching your way through the enemy most of the time. So that leads me to this challenge. Can I beat Fallout New Vegas with only the single shotgun? I had a feeling that my DPS would be incredibly low, so I'd need more survivability than anything. I omitted strength and perception for the most part. Charisma was 1 because I plan on just tagging speech and barter respectively. 9 in luck because I knew I was about to be flooded with pain, of course. Why did I take 9 intelligence? Dude, I don't know. I should have just put it all in an endurance or strength for stimpack money. My second issue was that I took trigger discipline. See, I figured that the extra accuracy would have been good, but I primarily used slugs, and it just didn't matter much anyway. It made me slow. Wild Wasteland was just for fun too, of course. I helped out Trudy by taking out the trash, and helped Ringo too. It took forever to take out the gangers, though. It was becoming very obvious how slow fights were going to be. The problem wasn't just the bad initial damage, but between shots, enemies had so much time to get hits in on me. Before I headed down that dusty road, I took care of some errands, mostly selling ganger stuff and visiting my favorite psychopath, Barton. My plan was to take the risky route to the north, you know, the one with the death claws. My first stop was Sloan to steal some stimpack money from the trunk of the Bing building, you know the one. From there, I ran over to Hidden Valley for some easy XP from the Scorpions. I, unfortunately, may have made a bit too much noise and caught off guard by a wandering Deathclaw. Ouch. I reached level 2, fought the centaurs, and continued north towards Black Mountain. Why would I go there? Well, it's simple, really. You could reach Tabitha's room through the fence and get some really easy experience. I'm going to admit that I have no idea how I managed to kill Tabitha. It was an absolute mess. It's like attending someone else's family reunion. Sure, there's good food and stuff, but you have to constantly insist you're not family to all those old women who say you look just like their brother Carl. Ugh. I started toward the strip when the specter of Malcolm Holmes appeared. It seems that I've done him wrong in so many past lives that he dematerialized entirely and is now unassailable. Interesting. I also got jump scared by that Nightkin right before the big boulder. I'm not sure what I was doing, but I was legitimately caught off guard. I also found some NCR armor that I would shortly put to good use. See, if you didn't already know, if you're wearing NCR armor, you could just walk right into the monorail. Straight to the strip. No caps needed. So, naturally, I headed straight to the Lucky 38 to see House. I even remembered to sell a snow globe for once before talking to him. Awesome. I then decided, you know, what the heck? I'll do a House Always Wins run. It's been a while. So, what I wanted to do is what I always do. That is, walk into the tops, pull out my boomstick, and level the place. But what I didn't really realize, I guess, at the time, was that I was severely outgunned. Now, okay, you gotta give me a break here, though. Normally, you could just stomp all over the Tops guards. They don't even wear armor, for crying out loud. It seemed that I had to use more than one brain cell for once, and I did a little preparing. I looted the free black combat armor from the Van Graff guards near the gunners on the third bridge to the east. I also sold as much junk as I could to the gunners themselves. Now armed with a fistful of stim packs and combat armor, I gave it another shot. It did not go well. At all. Like, at all. I figured I could at least cheese them on the front desk like I have before, but that didn't happen. They were just so much faster. My DPS was like 11 at this point, literally. That's with me pumping guns hard and using slugs. There's probably a strat that could have worked in the end, but I figured seeing Benny at the mercy of Caesar was a fine conclusion too. So ultimately, I allowed him to trap me in the suite and just hightailed it out of the tops. Since I didn't have my shotgun, I couldn't fight back, of course. I accepted the invitation from Volpace for once, instead of just showing him the hot side of my iron, and headed towards Cottonwood Cove.
Oh, somebody's throwing dynamite at me. What the hell is going on?
I got jumped by some powder gangers on the way to Prim, which caught me completely off guard. I don't know why I kept getting scared from stupid things in this run. Anyway, I didn't mind the shotgun repairs, though. I popped into Prim to pop off the convicts for some easy XP as well. It's really nice to not suck against a group after the Tops failure. It's always a good idea also to carry a science magazine at this part, so you can fix Prim Slim to become the sheriff for easy experience. I think he's the best outcome anyway. So I got more Stimpack money and headed further east. I made it to level 7, and my gun skill got up to level 90 at this point. Not that it made any difference. I got jumped by more gangers and made quick work of them. I also took care of the Jackal gangers and got to level 8. That was fast. I suppose it's because of the Prim Slim experience. I'm telling you, it's so worth doing. I made it to Nipton and said hello to everyone's favorite lottery winner the best way I know how. Unfortunately, I'm terrible at this game and couldn't land a shot. I then continued on east and harassed some local wildlife, as if I didn't have anything better to do. I fought one of the ghoul NCR troopers and got hard frozen. Man, gotta love New Vegas. I talked to everyone's favorite Chrome Dome in the flesh, and he sends me off to break House's favorite toys. As if. I make it to level 9 too. I finally got to use some of the pulse slugs I had been hoarding as well. The robots went down super easily and weren't much of a threat at all. I always seem to forget that this place has, radiation and will give you rad sickness. I should probably carry radaways in this game. Nah. So I go back and tell Papa Brain Tumor the deed has been done and make it to level 10. I take the and stay back perk, so I should now have the shotgun surgeon as well as the knockdown perks. Not that it's going to help me at all. I'm also rewarded with choosing how Benny goes, so I decide he's super high on himself, so he should be mounted up high. Rest in peace, Chandler. I won't forget you. I take a bathroom break while House shows off his cool new toys and plan the next move. I make a beeline straight to the boomers. But, unfortunately, my game crashed again. Oh well. I don't really enjoy doing the boomers quests anymore, so I kind of just fly through them. No pun intended, I guess. I went so fast that I forgot that I had invested in medical and forgot to treat the patients at the hospital. Oops. I took another bathroom break while the little boomer gave an exposition dump. No pun intended again. I grabbed the ant misbehaving quest and fumbled around in the cellar for far too long. For some reason, I thought the ants were stuck underground, under the nests or whatever. I had completely forgotten that they spawn upstairs. I don't know why. Anyway, after much more failing, I eventually finished the quest and killed off all the ants. I run off towards the lake to raise the airplane when my brain short circuits. I had been fighting some geckos, and for some reason I thought it was a good idea to pick a fight with some deathclaws. I really don't know what's wrong with me sometimes. I also just love the lake lurks and how they swim. It's like watching a dog walk around in those little booty shoes in the summertime, They flop around all awkwardly, and it makes them seem just a little bit more human. Well, the lake lurks are not so cute when they get out of the water. Anyway, I raise up the plane and head back to House. He had a mission where I should use finesse or something, but he clearly doesn't know me very well. He asks me to spy on the Gamoras, I guess. I know I'm not the only one who hates this group. They're just the worst. They're like gym bros who act super douchey just because they're large or whatever. It's like, we get it. You take drugs and have large, meaty breasts. Take a shower, man. I don't know. They weren't a match for my one-pump madness, and I collect their garbage for more Stimpack money. I would be needing it soon. You know why? It was time for the Brotherhood of Steel. See, lots of folks just love the Brotherhood. I don't mind them. House, however, thinks they're scum of the earth and should be taken out back like Old Yeller. So, he sends me to do just that. Only, I'm supposed to blow their hole. Like, with explosives, I mean. So, in New Vegas, I really like to be the in the thick of it type of player, I'm usually using a super sledge and bonking my way through the game. It's not like how I play the Elder Scrolls. It just feels good to be like the Juggernaut, So, naturally, when the Brotherhood, clad in their power armor, step out from their hole, I proceed to make the worst decision of my life. I fight these three outside the bunker for tens of minutes. No kidding. I used most of my Stimpaks before ever setting foot inside the bunker. I could have easily just gone in, stolen the key cards, but no. I'm stubborn as hell and needed to use a single shotgun to end a platoon of heavily armed killing machines. I actually had to leave to sell power armor to fund my Stimpack supply. It was nuts. I even had to run back to Doc Mitchell for supplies. My favorite part of the raid, however, was when this one paladin got disarmed. His response was to take all of his armor off and run around like a headless chicken for some reason. I don't know what happened there. I can't describe just how annoyed I was with myself. I knew better. Obviously, I shouldn't have taken on the Brotherhood with this build. It was awful. My damage was abysmal. I've gone through the game with the Switchblade, and I'd kill to be doing that at this point. No kidding. I just take so much damage. It was crossing the threshold of not worth continuing, to be honest. I had to finish this part up before I lost my mind completely. Eventually, though, I backed myself up into the Scribes area and held the remaining Brotherhood off there. I entered the key cards and finished them off for good. Good riddance. Alright, it was time for the finale. I think I would have done more, but at this point, I was just ready to fight the big guy, you know? The single shotgun was just too much to bear anymore. House sent me to the dam, and I started what would be the most intense climax of any run I'd done so far. But before that, I made sure to stock up on
sneak
supplies.
right on by these guys. Yep, they don't see me. No problem.
My first instinct was to go in blasting like Frank Reynolds, but I had learned my lesson from the Brotherhood. I had nothing to gain but pain. I was a turd circling the drain in vain. Insane was my brain. I crouched along the divider and tried my best to avoid combat. I knew that my supplies wouldn't last through to the Legate if I wasn't cautious. And so, like Andy Dufresne, I crawled through that poop pipe of Legionnaires and came out the other end a lot smellier, but mostly okay. I found the NCR heavies and tried to spare them.
Still detected.
I hoped I could just sneak behind them, but meh. I guess I was just fooling myself. That didn't happen. Nice to know they're way weaker than a standard Legionnaire, though. I put in the final module and headed off to the Legion camp. This single soldier there gave me a sense of false security. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this part. I figured I just needed to challenge the Legate like I always do, and hip hip hurrah, I'm out of this nightmare. Oh, sweet summer micro. That single guard alone took me 20 seconds to kill. Oh boy. Okay, guard number 3 and 4, not too bad, not too bad. All right, here's where I mess up. I see this ledge and think, oh, sick. Maybe he'll get pathing issues and I could just fire away at the Legate.
Hit him.
Nah. Nah.
Oh, he's got grenades. No. Ah. Yeah, I've had enough.
It was like I had never done this fight before or something. I mean, I had taken some time since the last, but
Ow.
well, anyway, I tried to take refuge in the arena.
Ow.
Ironic, I know,
Ow.
but it was the only thing I could do to save myself. The only thing I could think of. The Legate and his men quickly routed me, and I hightailed it to the gate. I didn't make it.
What is going on? Let me live. Okay.
On the second attempt, I wanted to challenge the Legate overkill to a 1v1, but my speech just wasn't high enough. The strategy this time, then, would be pretty much the same. But I think I just got way luckier. I chugged every chem in my inventory, and I also focused my fire on him much more. I also forgot that he was a two-phase fight, so when he ran off and his health got low, you know, kind of surprised me. It felt like I was a mouse trying to chew down a tree. It's like drinking something you bought that you hate, you know? You probably found it at some gross gas station and paid way too much for it. You know what I'm talking about. It's like some off-brand, disgusting thing. You know, you probably cracked it open and realized that it tasted like tar. You put it in your cup holder. For some reason, you commit yourself to not wasting it. You sip on that bad boy all day, even though it's now hot from sitting in the sun. After it's done, you're sick as hell to your stomach, you wonder if it was even worth it, and you say, heck yeah! You think, I saved a few bucks. I mean, I didn't save any money. I kind of wasted the internet too, I guess. I don't know. What was I talking about? So when I finally did take down that big golden idiot, I was both surprised as hell and relieved as hell. Believe it or not, this was my first Fallout video. How did I do? I'd really like to hear from everyone. If you're not the type to leave comments, man, feel free to DM me. I do this for fun and friendships, after all. Anyway, if you made it this far, hey, you're amazing. And also, I'm sorry for wasting all of the internet's time. Please consider subscribing. I try to have videos out on Fridays. And yeah, have an amazing day.